the moral of the story is your kid's gonna be your downfall. Like your kid's gonna lead you to hell. Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. In this video I will be reviewing the new movie Evil Dead Rise, another installment in the beloved, at least by me, Evil Dead franchise. Now in Evil Dead Rise we see a group trapped in an apartment building in Los Angeles, trapped with flesh possessing demons. Now, I thought that the opening sequence for this movie was really good and set a really good tone for this. This was really in general, a really great horror opening sequence. Now we get the typical setting at the lake for the Evil Dead movies, but of course we got a different cabin this time, and I really like how they did this setup where we still get that classic Evil Dead secluded cabin setting, and we have two friends and one of the young lady's boyfriend and some other friends were supposed to come but they didn't, and it starts off where we see one young lady sitting on the lake, and we have that classic camera shot that Evil Dead does where you have this fast moving camera going through, and it's going towards the young lady, but come to find out it's just an obnoxious boyfriend playing with his drone, and come to find out her friend is sick. So she goes inside, the friend is sick, and we get a lot of different callbacks to previous Evil Dead movies that work really well here, where if you notice them, it was just a nice, little bonus. And if you didn't notice them, it didn't, mess up the experience at all. It will still be a good watch, even if you didn't get a lot of the callbacks. But one callback was in this opening scene where the friend goes to sit down while her friend is sick, and this interaction for me was weird. Like, if my friend is sick and laying there, really I felt like she was laying there like she was dead. I'm not gonna just pop down and read a book. I want to look at you, roll you over. I need you to verbally tell me, are you okay? Do I need to call 911? I don't know. I thought this interaction was odd. The friend was very nonchalant about how sick her friend was and how her friend was acting. But anyway, she sits down to read a book, and suddenly the sick friend on the bed just gets up, like sits up, and she starts reading word for word what's in the book, even though her back is turned. She ain't looking at the book, and she's reading it and talking in like a weird dead-eyed voice, which of course if I'm the girl, I don't know what that is, but I can hear that my friend's voice sound like a damn demon. I mean, it don't sound right. Like, girl, who is in your throat? But she just screams for the friend to stop, and I'm just like, you can't tell that this is odd? She is literally, and let's say your friend knows the book. How does your friend know exactly what page and chapter and everything that you are on? How do they know the exact paragraph that you are currently reading? It just was weird to me how the friend just was like, I'm gonna say like, girl, something up. I'm about to be calling an obnoxious boyfriend, like, man, something going on. This gave us a really good, it wasn't a kill scene because the girl survived, but her friend that we find out is possessed literally rips her scalp off, y'all. And for me, there are no bad entries in the Evil Dead franchise, period, in my humble opinion. However, I will say that this one had the weakest story, but the horror, the gore, all of that stuff was very on brand and very on point. And that ripping the scalp, I had like a visceral reaction to different moments in this. That was like, ooh, girl, snatched the scalp, okay? So we then see the young lady run out to the dock where the boyfriend is, and he just looking at her like, boy, the girl's scalp gone. Now his possessed girlfriend go out there and takes this little what is those things, drone, and the blaze, and she like cuts herself and she dives in the water. Baby, he dives after. I'm seeing her like, look, girl, your scalp was ripped off, but ain't nothing wrong with your throat. You could have warned this young man. So she is able to kill the boyfriend, of course, and we get a really great shot of the possessed girl levitating above the lake, and then you see Evil Dead Rise, like rising up behind her. I I love that shot. Was it just me? I thought that shot was really good. Now, the central crew that we follow, because we end up seeing something that said, I think it said one day earlier, and we shoot to Beth, who is, I don't know, at like a rock concert. They keep calling her a groupie throughout the movie, but really she does like the technical stuff for this band. And we see her taking a pregnancy test. And she goes back to where her sister is. Her sister is in this apartment building. It's her sister and her 3 kids. And this is our central story, right? We have 2 seemingly estranged sisters. One sister comes and she's at the apartment of her sister with her 3 kids. Come to find out, the dad has left. And y'all, the mama sends her 3 kids, who her son, who supposed to be the oldest, literally looked like he 13, and she sends them at night in Los Angeles by themselves to go get pizza. Baby, this is a modern movie. Like the setting and like the time period in the movie is modern times. Y'all couldn't Uber? Y'all couldn't Uber Eats? Y'all couldn't DoorDash? Or just dial up the pizza spot and do regular delivery? You really needed to send your children to go get the pizza. And you know why they make it so she does this? So that she can be alone with her sister, even though it's a big old apartment and y'all could have just went along to a room, but whatever. She has to take the kids out the whole damn apartment so she could tell her sister that their daddy left, even though they already know that their daddy left. But that's the reasoning they give us for why the kids got to be out the apartment. Child, ain't make no sense. It make no sense in the slightest. So a big issue, a huge issue that I have with this movie is the stupidity of that is the catalyst for how all this gets started. For me personally, with Evil Dead, it was never just flat out stupid how everything starts. If you want to say the 2013 Walking Dead where the young man reads the thing, yeah, it's an element of stupidity, but it ain't on this level. I'm going to give him a pass. Your friend is detoxing and you out secluded and you bored, whatever the hell, child, you a man, whatever. But the level of stupidity in this one to get everything started was just baffling for me. So the kids come back after getting pizza. We're in the parking garage. We got 3 pizzas. We got 4 sodas and an earthquake hits, right? We dropped the pizza. The pizza's still in the box. The pizza clean. The pizza good. Baby, why they left the pizza? That blew my mind. That confused me so much. And that is just another gripe with the story. We just had things happen just for the sake of where we wanted it to go. We see the little girl, the youngest daughter, open the box and eat a slice. That pizza was good. And they show us the pizza is good. And they get up to the apartment, all of a sudden ain't nobody hungry no more. I was confused. Mama went to like do laundry or something. The boy in his room on the turntable. Baby, ain't nobody hungry no more. After we just went to get 3 damn pizzas. And then we dropped the pizza, which wasn't a problem. I done dropped the pizza box before, baby. You can still eat the damn pizza. Especially given their financial situation. It's a single mom with 3 kids living in a condemned building that's about to be cut down in 1 week. And that was something else that annoyed me with the story. Okay, let's jump back a bit because we in the garage with the kids, but let's jump back. When the mom got to send the kids out the apartment to tell the sister something that the kids already know, even though we could have just been alone in a room in the apartment, we have to clear the whole apartment. But anyway, she telling the sister that they got to move and she walking through the house like she trying to pack. Y'all, she got a week to leave. And that it is so much stuff in that apartment. We don't see not one box. We don't see it don't look like they have started packing at all. You still got freaking pictures on the wall. Y'all, come on now, man. But that's the story. That's the story. When the building is condemned, they're about to tear it down. It's only a few tenants left. We got to be out in a week, but I got a whole apartment full of a ton of stuff, and we don't see not name box packed. But whatever. Okay, let's get back to the parking garage. So we have the earthquake. We scared. And anybody, I live in Florida, we don't have earthquakes, but anybody who done known about an earthquake, seen it on the news, watched the movie with an earthquake, you know good and damn well it could be aftershocks and all kind of stuff. But this little boy, who presumably is a native of California, well, they have earthquakes, decides it's a good idea to jump down into a hole that was just made in the ground. Why? Now, at the point where it's just a hole, he can't see what's in there. He don't know if what's in there at all. It could be the Loch Ness Monster. It could be gold and treasure. He don't have a clue. He just sees a hole. You cannot see what's in there. I'm down in this garage with my sisters. We were supposed to get dinner. An earthquake just hit. We shook, scared. Presumably our mama gonna be worried. And I decide, let me take the time to jump down in this hole and just investigate. Because that makes a lot of sense. Now, they tell us that this used to be a bank. So he jumps down in this hole and we are in a bank vault, right? Y'all, it's all kind of crosses hanging. You got a giant like Jesus on the cross that, you know, kind of falls and tilts towards him. Like, it looks like somebody was trying to hold a vampire, a demon, or something in here. And the boy just walking around in that, and I'm just sitting here like, and his sister just keeps saying, Danny, let's go, Danny, let's go. So then he sees the Book of the Dead. And it is literally covered in a bunch of bugs that fly all over him. And still, this little nigga think this is a good idea. He grabs the book, and then there are some records down there. Y'all, the level of stupidity. Like, this was y'all only idea to get this popping in this store, to make all the events start to transpire. This was so beyond stupid, and honestly, it kind of irked me for quite a bit in the movie theater. Like, it just put a bad taste in my mouth. I get it. As a horror fan, they typically gotta have the stupid characters do stupid stuff to pop stuff off. But the level of stupidity, this got on my last nerves. And the stupidity didn't stop. So the mom is worried. We see different neighbors come out. And it's a lot of moments in a movie where you could tell, oh, that's going to come up. The neighbor comes out and he talks about how his cat gets up in the vent. Oh, we know that's going to come to play. We see one of those, what are those trucks called that you use when you garden and stuff and you put the little wood chipper thing. It's like a wood chip. You put the wood in there and break it all up. We see that in the garage. Oh, we know that's going to come into play. Which, by the way, we're in an apartment in downtown Los Angeles, baby. I ain't see no grass. I ain't see a potted plant. I don't know why they needed the wood chipper truck down there, but whatever the hell, we knew that was gonna come into play. The little girl cut the head off her doll and stuck it on this sharp stick and was calling it it was like a play on Stephanie. He was calling it Stephanie. Oh, we know that's going to come into play. It was just certain things where it was like, oh, we know that's going to come into play. But anyway, she's asking the neighbor to like take her to go drive with her kids that went to get pizza. And that's when we get upstairs. Now, like I said, we went to get 3 pizzas and 4 sodas. But all of a sudden, once we back, ain't nobody hungry, but whatever. The little boy go in his room with the damn book and the records. And he tries to open the book. And he starts talking about, oh, it could be worth money. Mom could have used some money. Y'all, you mean to tell me this old rusted, dusted, ugly, disgusting behind book, you really think that's worth something? Like, none of this is making any sense. For me, it's not. And especially as a teenager, who would give a fuck about this? Like, as a teenager? But whatever. So he tries to open the book. He can't. It cuts him and he bleeds. Now me, and hey, maybe I was Was I prissy as a teen? If I get cut by something that look like that, I'm crying to my mom to take me to go get shots or something. Like I'm feeling like I'm infected. That thing look nasty. It look like you can get TB from that. I don't know. It look like you can get SARS or something. I feel like you can get freaking the Black Plague from that thing. I don't know. You can get diseases that ain't even been around for hundreds of years. But anyway, when he bleeds on a book, it just opens on its own. And we ain't the slightest bit perturbed, confused, wondering how the book just opened. Whatever. He goes to turn the pages in the book, and all you see are pictures of mutilation. Tell me why the sister looked horrified and the brother looked fascinated. Oh, Jesus. Y'all, look, I was a morbid ass kid. You hear me? Morbid. I saw the first Evil Dead when I was a little kid. Sat there bright-eyed and everything. But it ain't no way in hell I would have saw a book like this in real life and been fascinated. I don't know, that was going. He was fascinated. And the sister is horrified. She slams the book closed. She tell him, put it back, leave it alone. Don't touch it, Danny. She walks out. Of course, this boy go to put the records on because y'all, we got David Guetta he a little David Guetta. Like he got his little turntables and he doing his little thing. So he put the record on, right? Now this ain't make no sense. We hear the priest on the record talking about wanting somebody to translate the book. But when we look at the book, it ain't nothing but pictures. It ain't no words. But then I'm also thrown off because if this is the Book of the Dead, presumably, are there more than one? Because in the other Evil Dead movies, we actually read something in Latin or something that, gets the demons popping. But in this one, it's nothing but pictures. And it is the guy on the record saying the words that ends up starting this whole thing up. So as the boy playing the record, right, he just ended up just playing it. Everything all good. He having the time of his life. His mama going to do laundry or something. Now he just fine. He done saw mutilated bodies and everything in that book. He listening to everything fine. All of a sudden he gets shook and scared and he try to stop the record. But it really made no sense to me. Why was he all of a sudden getting scared and wanting to turn it off? Nothing prior to this scared you or made you not want to do this, but all of a sudden, with no real reason, he suddenly shook. But it's too late. The record won't let him stop playing it. And the poor mama walking down where the elevator at, and she the one that gets possessed. So really the moral of the story is your kid's gonna be your downfall. Like your kid's gonna lead you to hell. Now, I gotta say, I wasn't very into a lot of the dialogue at the beginning. I wasn't very into the story. They give us like little info, but we don't really get much when it comes to the characters. Like we're just, for example, the sister Beth, she's pregnant. She's reluctant about it. She's, has these hesitations, but we don't really know why. We don't really know the circumstance. We don't really know the daddy. She keeps saying she ain't a groupie, but baby, like she tell her sister, I need help. Help with what? Raising a baby? You finna come live with me and my 3 kids? We getting kids? It just was a lot that was like, what's going on? And to their defense, typically in Evil Dead, we get a group, they go to the cabin and we play the game of who gonna survive. But when you're in that case, we should have just had the random people in the apartment building. For them to present us with a family, I felt like we needed better story building and character building. I did not care about anybody in the family except the kids. And that was only because I just don't want to see nothing happen to kids. I really didn't connect or care about the mom or the sister. But it was no reason for me to. Now, I will say as the movie went on, I liked Beth a lot more as the movie progressed, but it wasn't testament to the character. It was kind of really just testament to the actress. But anyway, the mom, Deadite. Yo, this lady, highlight of the movie. I freaking love this woman. And I did not realize, I saw something the actress posted on Twitter, or either somebody posted on Twitter about the actress, how a certain fandom like gave her a lot of hate, and then now that she's in Evil Dead, this fandom is like embracing her. And I was like, well, what was she in that people was hating on her? Y'all fans be crazy. Y'all, I go to look, it's the lady I hated from Vikings. I guess I was the toxic fan, but I love this lady. Oh my God, yeah, I couldn't stand her in Vikings. Oh my God, I couldn't stand her. But here in Evil Dead, I love you, lady. Like, I love, badass, amazing, so just demented. The movement she would do, the voice, like, everything. She was the highlight of the movie. Oh my God. Chef's kiss to the performance that she gave. And I will say, I love, look, I'm going to be that person. We ain't need to put no kids in here. Don't mess with the kids. I don't want kids to die, and I don't want kids to be terrorized, okay? And it wasn't just her kids. We had neighbor kids too. Like, why y'all couldn't have had other, like, older teens or, young adults? Why did they have to be damn kids? But I will say, we ain't really seen the youngest little boy die because they gave us a POV shot through the peephole. So it ain't like you really, really saw him get killed. But still, a child was killed, and I'm going to be that person. I don't like that. Don't kill the kids. Now, when we had the preview, I was wondering, how are we going to be isolated in the city? But the way they did it was they took out the elevator and the staircase. And we were on, I want to say, the 13th or 14th floor. And that was the reasoning for how we were isolated, right? Now, the mom gets possessed in the elevator, and instead of the scene that we usually get with the trees, where they grab you in the vines and stuff, and they do their thing with the women. This time we had wires in the elevator, which gave us a really great scene as well. The mom comes back to the apartment possessed, child. And one thing that got on my nerve with this movie was characters' like reaction time. It was frustratingly slow. There is a scene where the mom is in the bathtub and she freaking jumps and crawls on the ceiling, and the Aunt Beth and the son, we on the floor. And we sit on the floor for like seconds, keep, and I'm like, if y'all don't get the up. And it's also a scene, I feel like I said that weird. There is also a scene where the mom goes to attack us, and aunt and brother fall, they're down, and mom jumps on top of the second oldest sister, or the second oldest child, and I'm sitting here like, yo, are y'all going to go help the girl? I'm like, aunt, brother, somebody get up. It just felt like a lot of moments, a lot of seconds was passing where I was like, yo, can y'all get up and help the girl? It was a lot of moments like that in the movie where you had a lot of time for something to happen before someone would react. And that irked me. But anyway, we introduced a few neighbors, like I said, the guy with the cat, and then we had another neighbor who wanted to pray over the mom. Now, this I thought was weird. Usually in Evil Dead, you get possessed and then you be attacking people. But in this one, the mom gets possessed and she like dies. And I guess the demon was just playing with them. I guess you could, say that's what was going on. So the neighbor comes in, the mom is in the bed, presumably, she's supposed to be dead. He wants to say a prayer. And I'm thinking this gonna come into play because we had all kind of crucifixes and stuff down in that bank vault trying to hold the demon, which also don't make sense because who put it in the vault and why y'all just left it there? And why would I put it in the bank? I would put it somewhere where people aren't likely to go. I don't know, whatever the hell. But him and his prayer beads and his prayer, it ain't come to play. It didn't mean nothing. Him and all the neighbors was just here to die. They were just here to die. Now, it's a lot of stupid stuff that happened in this movie. are able to get the possessed mom out of the apartment, and even though it's kids in the hallway that's finna die child, Beth just closed the door. She closed the door to the apartment, leave the kids out there to die child. So we put something in front of the door, we locked the mom out of the apartment. Now, we just hanging out in the apartment. Just hanging out. And I'm like, we're not trying to problem solve a way out of here, nothing. You know how in movies, they like, you know how in Cube, they took all their clothes off and tied them together so we could make a long rope? Like, we ain't try to do nothing to get out of here. We ain't try to get out the window at all, like in the slightest. And they tell us that there is a fire escape on another apartment, but we can't at least look out the window, see what's below us, see what we could fall on. Can we throw some mattresses out there, bitch? Like, can we do something? Like, we did not try to problem solve a way out of this apartment in the slightest, and that irked my nerves so bad. But then we get a scene where, now this ain't made no damn sense. Of course, the sister blames the brother, and it was his fault. Little boy, you got your mama killed, you got yourself killed, you got everybody killed, boy. So she get mad at the brother. The brother tells the aunt, I got to show you something. So they leave, both sisters by themselves, right? They go off. When they come back, because this the mom is outside the door. The youngest daughter is at the door. The mom talking to her. I guess she could sense that it's the youngest. And the stuff the mom was saying, the stuff the demon was saying, it was really good. Like, adding the family dynamic, it did add some like morbid creep factor, especially with the stuff that the mom would be saying as the deadite. Now, the mom was like, oh, I'm better now. You know, let me in. Look, girl, mom, you don't look so good. But I feel like this was dumb even for a child. Y'all, why the little girl open the door, let the mama in? It didn't make no sense. So the aunt and the brother come running in because luckily the chain was up. And then we just going on about our business. And I'm seeing her like, so y'all left two sisters together. You come out here, it's only one sister, but ain't nobody wondering where the hell the other sister at. Now, while all this is going on, the other sister is in the kitchen starting to be possessed. And I was confused on why she ain't scream or anything as stuff was happening. Now, her mom, I think, is a tattoo artist because she had a little tattoo machine. And the moment I was talking about earlier where everybody was reacting slow when the mom jumped on her, she took the tattoo gun and, you know, put a scar on the girl's face, which starts to get infected, which is her possession. Now, I was very confused on a lot of the rules in this movie. Now, the typical rule in the Evil Dead movies, if you get anything from the Deadites in you or anything, you get possessed. For example, in the 2013 one, when the girl bites the Deadite bites the girl's hand, and her hand starts to get possessed, and she cuts the whole damn arm off, but she still gets possessed. So the young lady gets a little scar. Okay, typical to the rules, she gets possessed, right? And the aunt them come in, we end up having to fight her. Now the aunt gets hurt with the cheese grater on her leg. But I'm saying, like, why is she not possessed? Okay, now let's say you get hurt with a cheese grater. You don't get possessed. But then we have all kind of the demon blood all over us. Why wasn't they possessed? They should have been possessed. That demon blood all over them, that scar on her leg. And then if you get liquid on you, you have all kind of open areas of your body. They should have been possessed. But whatever. I was confused on the rules of this. Now, what did make sense is we wouldn't go to kill one of the possessed, but they wouldn't be dead. But I was like, y'all don't understand that they not dead. We go kill the sister, and yeah, the brother goes to like tie her up, but he don't actually tie her to anything. She could still get the hell up, which she does, which was a good scene. When we first see the middle child get up with the sheet wrapped on her, and she's just faintly in the background of the brother and the younger sister. That was I liked how she popped up in the back. But what didn't make any sense to me, the aunt wanted to listen to the record. She puts headphones on so that just in case, playing it on the loudspeaker will get somebody possessed. She puts the headphones on and she's in a room by herself. This ain't make no damn sense to me. Now, first of all, we problem solved because we ain't have no electricity, but we problem solved to get a little turntable working, but we couldn't problem solve to get the hell up out the building, but whatever. I got the headphones on, so y'all can't hear whatever the words is. They would have been in the room with me. And even if they weren't, her back was to the door and her face was to the window. That ain't make no damn sense. That ain't make no damn sense. And we are in a situation where demons are bringing bodies back to life to attack us. I would not have both ear things on where I can't hear what's happening. Baby, you could put one ear thing on and have the other ear listening for what's going on. Y'all, it just ain't make no damn sense. So let's fast forward. The mom gets in the little shaft where the cat was. That's how she gets in the apartment. And the son, gets killed. And it was I forgot to mention, it was a good shot where the middle child was possessed and she was in the kitchen eating glass. And you saw her swallow the glass and then you literally could see the glass going down her throat and poking out. I thought that was good. Now, nobody is left except the aunt and the youngest child. We go out into the hallway, and my first thought before they exit the apartment, I said, if they walk out that apartment without a weapon, I'm be mad. What the hell y'all think they did? Walk out the apartment without a weapon. It got on my last nerve that Beth would leave the apartment without a weapon. And it was a lot of different moments where I think she did it and Danny did, where it was moments where we would stab one of the possessed and just leave the weapon in them. Like, stab and pull it out. Keep the damn weapon. Oh, it was getting on my nerve. So we get out into the hallway and the aunt tries to get into the apartment that has the fire escape. Now, this ain't making any sense to me. Now, I'm a Floridian, okay? We don't have no fire escape that I know of. Like in an apartment, you just get on out, do the stairs, whatever. But I thought when I see stuff that's set in New York, I thought every apartment is connected to a fire escape. Is it just one apartment that got a fire escape? And then that don't make sense. So if I'm in my apartment with a fire escape, you mean random people, I'm supposed to just let them in my apartment to get out the fire? I don't know. There's only one fire escape in the apartment. It ain't make no sense. And then what also didn't make sense is the door to the apartment wasn't just a regular door that was locked. It was like bolted and like we was trying to like take a hammer and break the door down. That's not a safety hazard. If we only have one fire escape on the floor, you're going to bolt access to the fire escape? What if the motherfucking building catch on fire? Like, that seems like such a hazard. It just did not make logical sense to me. I don't know. It was a lot with this story that just was bugging me. But anyway, the aunt goes out, try to get through that door for the fire escape. And I'm like, pick up the man's shotgun. Then her afterthought, she goes to get the guy's shotgun. And of course, the neighbors that were killed, they get up and they're flesh possessing demons as well. But this is what confused me. We ran to the damn elevator. First of all, I was confused on why we just gave up on the fire escape. Like, why we ain't take the shotgun? Because she takes the shotgun and shoots at her sister, shoots her leg off. And I'm like, how many bullets we had? Why we ain't turn back to shoot the damn door open to get the fire escape? But even if we gave up on the door, which I don't know why we gave up on the door, but whatever the hell we gave up on the door, why did we go to the elevator? Now, yes, the stairs, what they showed us, the stairs were like blocked. It looked like rubble or something. We were blocked by the stairs. But the damn elevator has already proved to be possessed. Why didn't we get in the elevator? I don't know. It made no sense. But anyway, they get in the elevator and it starts filling up with blood. And we have a scene that's very reminiscent of The Shining, where the elevator drops down and all this blood comes rushing out of the elevator. Great scene. Now, we end up in the parking garage and Y'all, this was really silly to me and not scary. It was more comical than scary. The possessed mom, brother, and sister, for some reason, all meld together to make one slow-moving creature. And I'm sitting here like, we would have had a better chance of killing these two if it was three of us separate going after them, as opposed to one locked together, slow-moving monster. I don't know who bright idea that was, but I didn't really like it. But anyway, we're in a parking garage. We get in the car. We're trying to open the gate to get out, right? We get the gate open. We go to roll out. Now, this ain't make no sense to me because I was thinking toss the little girl out first, but whatever. We both go to roll. The aunt successfully rolls out. And before they even go to get out, the freaking garage is open for a long ass time. And I'm just like, if y'all don't just run and get out. Y'all, that garage was open for so long before they decide to finally get the hell out. It isn't until the gate is starting to close that we decide to go run and try to get out. So the aunt goes to roll out. She makes it just in time, but the demon grabs the little girl. And I thought, oh, well, the aunt is, to find the girl, she's the last one standing there and kill the dang little girl. But no, the aunt is able to break back in to go try and save the little girl. And we end up putting the molded together demon into that little wood chipper. And that's how they survive. Now, the scene or the shot of the aunt with the chainsaw, again, we ain't got no lawn, no trees, nowhere, but whatever the hell, we got a chainsaw. Using a chainsaw, going at the demon, getting it into the thing, that shot, fine. But it was not as good as the chainsaw scene in 2013 Evil Dead when it's raining blood and she's slicing a demon in half. That was one of the greatest shots in horror in general. And that's another thing I will say. I would have liked to see the return of Mia, but not having Mia in here, it doesn't harm the movie, whatever. I don't see how she would fit into the story that they came up with. So it's not like it hurts it for her to not be here. I just would have liked to see her. It would be great if they do an Evil Dead where they bring Mia and Ash, but whatever the hell. So the aunt and the little girl survive. And something else with what I was saying about the story, it really feels like the story was an afterthought. There's a scene where the demon is talking to Beth and she's saying, you're going to be a terrible mom just like yours was. And I'm just like, her mama was terrible? Like, that's news to the audience. Like, it's like they would just say certain things that just wasn't adding up, or then I was like, well, wait, what's going on here? So then we end up seeing the young lady from the top of the movie that was at the cabin, that was the sick one, coming out the apartment. And they tried to show us she was on like the 6th or 7th floor or something. Y'all, I'm just sitting here like, hell no. Hell no. See, this is what I'm talking about. We could have been problem solving just to get to the floor beneath us. Y'all couldn't have made no rope to crawl down to the window right under y'all's. Like, we did not try to get out of that apartment in the slightest. But anyway, you trying to tell me all that ruckus, shotguns going off, a freaking elevator crashing, the dang, what do you call it? The stairs collapse. Baby, you mean to tell me ain't nobody here? Shit. And talk about oblivious. She walking through the parking garage, ain't noticing nothing. All of a sudden, after she get off the phone telling the friend to go up to the cabin, she finally notices something and she walks over while the blood and stuff is going on, which I ain't walking close to that stuff. I'm like, oh, hell. Well, I can see from a distance what's going on. I'm just calling for help. But we end up seeing that's how she gets possessed. Now, I will say the way this ends, all the possessed is still here. Like, the evil wins, because we still got the four possessed neighbors on the 13th floor, because just the mom and son and daughter came down to go after us, and those are the 3 that we had to defeat to get out. But we still got the possessed neighbors up there. And then at the cabin, we still got the possessed girl out there at the cabin. So evil won. Now, this also continued with having like a more dark tone. We didn't have that traditional Evil Dead like slapstick campy tone. It was of some moments of like just humor. For example, I really like that you should have put the book back, Danny. And then when Anna's like, come get some, she like trips and falls. And then a play on some of the stuff that the mom would say. So it was some like dark humor. Like I said, the story was pretty weak, but the visuals, the sound, the horror elements, the gore, all of that was really good for me personally. I definitely feel like this was a really solid horror watch. Definitely a solid entry to the Evil Dead franchise. I would give this a 6 out of 10. And really it's just because of the horror and the fun that I had with that. When I walked out of this, I wasn't blown away. I wasn't particularly impressed. I was just kind of like, oh, that was fun. That was fun. So it's not anything, in my opinion, that's going to like blow you away. But if you are a fan of Evil Dead or just a fan of gore driven horror in general, I definitely think that this is a solid entry. I do feel like, and this might sound crazy, I do feel like this feels more tame, more reserved than previous entries. As far as brutality, gruesome and brutalness, maybe because kids were involved, they didn't want to go too far, but it definitely felt more tame to me. Still, that's not like a knock to it because it was still a really good entry, but I definitely feel like it felt a lot more tame than previous entries. It is not as fun as the original Evil Dead movies, and it is not on the level of scary as the 2013 movie, but it is still a solid entry. It doesn't feel as dark in the themes of like being scary as 2013, but it is still a really solid, good work in the horror genre. I feel like you get exactly what you walk in expecting to get. This is definitely on brand with the Evil Dead franchise. I did walk in feeling like they gave us a lot in the preview and that I hope they had some stuff up their sleeve. They did have some more stuff to offer, but they did give away a lot of big moments in the preview. But it's still, for me, it's hit or miss. Sometimes they'll give away stuff in the preview that won't be as effective when I see it in the movie. I'll just be like, oh, that's from the preview. I will say they gave us a lot in the preview. I wish they didn't give us as much, but even though you will recognize stuff from the preview, for me, it was all very much still effective, especially the mommies with the maggots now. I don't know why I love that. I really, really love that. So, like, just a lot of the movements and a lot of the big sequences, yeah, they're in the preview. And I mean, man, F modern marketing, because Jesus, they give everything away in the preview. Oh yeah, I forgot to say the callbacks they have. My number one favorite was the Dead by Dawn. From, I want to say that's from Evil Dead 2. Yeah, I think it's from the second one. I love that. I loved it in Evil Dead and I love it in this one. I will also say I went to see this with somebody who really didn't want to see this movie. They don't like horror, they don't like gore, they don't like seeing stuff happen to kids. And I kept trying to reassure them, it ain't gonna be as bad as you think. They ain't killing them kids. I just knew they weren't gonna kill them. I was like, man, them kids don't survive, child. They ain't finna kill no kids. Child, I was wrong. They killed them kids. I don't know why. I just felt like they don't mess with kids. Like, they gonna mess with them, but man, them kids don't survive. I just knew the kids was gonna live. Child, I was like, oh shit, okay, they killing the kids. I was sitting there like, all right, was it just me? Y'all, let me know in the comments. Did you go in knowing and expecting for them to kill the kids? I guess I'm a little naive because I feel like when I grew up watching horror, yeah, sometimes kids die, but for the most part, it'd be like, man, I ain't finna do nothing to kids. Man, them kids gonna be okay. Thank you so much for watching this video, for supporting the channel. Let me know what you think of Evil Dead Rise. And I will also be ranking all of the movies in the Evil Dead franchise. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one.